I struggle with the balance between not talking enough and oversharing. And it has always been the case for me growing up, especially when I was in high school. And whenever I spoke about something, I was always afraid of what people are gonna react to the things that I say and to the things that I do. I was always hyper aware of that. I guess my complicated relationship with vulnerability stems from something deeper. It's not just about shyness. I was always a shy kid, and even though I was propelled into different endeavors, contests, competitions, may that be musical or academic, people didn't know that I had like severe anxiety and I was about to throw up every time I was about to go on stage. I always thought that if I ever were to put myself out there, to make myself vulnerable and to share some things with people and with the relationships that I had, like everything would be magnified and everything would be criticized by them. And I had always been deathly afraid, petrified, terrified of it growing up. I have a very complicated relationship, or lack thereof, with social media. During the pandemic, I made the conscious decision to delete my social media applications as well as my accounts. I became invisible to a lot of people. They had no means to reach out to me. I had some friends who reached out to me through email and through text messages. And those are just a handful of people who knew how to communicate with me because I wanted to isolate and I just wanted some time for myself. I felt like my energy was all drained, maybe because of the pandemic, but also because for all of my life, I don't think I had enough time for myself. I always had something going on and I always had to look after this one thing after another. After high school, it was, suddenly the pandemic. When I decided to delete my social media accounts, my main purpose was to I had the inherent desire to hide away from everyone. My thinking was, if they don't know enough about me, then they won't have something to talk about. And thinking back when I was still very active on social media, I kept thinking that I had the need to be relevant and I had to be up to date with everything that was going on. And maybe because of that, I was so drained and tired from trying to fit in, from trying to be relevant. So it was just like polar to polar, wanting to be really relevant, wanting to fit in. And then on the other side of that is just wanting to just hide away and just isolate myself. I think it distorted how I grew up because in your teens, you're still trying to figure out who you are as a person and you're still trying to explore and discover parts of you. And maybe because of social media and because of the need to fit in and the need to be relevant, I feel like I stunted that experience. I feel like I stunted my own discovery, my own self-discovery, my own self-exploration because of the things that were happening online and offline. And after making that decision to not be on social media anymore, and that spanned for years, and it was only until I was in college I needed to be on social media to connect with other people, especially my classmates. Right now, I only have Instagram, and even that I don't use all that much. Maybe I'll talk about more of this on my next episodes, but for now, I'm just going to talk about vulnerability. And when I started on this content creation journey, in the back of my head, I was always thinking, am I sharing too much? And it became so true. That thought, that question itself was becoming more and more pronounced when I was about to upload my first video for my vlog channel. I'll link the video here somewhere if you want to check that out. And I shared very, very heavy parts of myself on that video. Maybe not everything, but some parts that felt important to share with other people. And so that was one of the biggest steps that I took. And I felt so vulnerable after that. What are people gonna say? What are my parents gonna say? What are my friends gonna say? And even now, as I'm in the process of my content creation journey, I still have qualms about sharing certain areas of my life. Like I have control over what I do share and what I don't share with other people. But there are some areas and there are some aspects of my life that I do want other people to know about. And I want it to be a kind of self-exploration journey, if you will. Because when I do talk about something, it means that I perhaps have learned about it, or I am still in the process of learning about it, and I'm still in the process of figuring it out myself. And for most of my life, I don't think I've ever really let a lot of people in. And that was, I don't know, for self-preservation or for some other reason, I'm not really sure. I'm too afraid of putting myself out there and letting people know that, hey, this is me. This is who I am. I tried opening myself up again in college, and some of the best people that I consider my friends, I met in college. And I know that whenever I share some parts of me with them, they take care of it. They don't take it for granted. And that was when I realized it's not because I'm afraid of sharing it. I'm afraid of it not being appreciated enough, and I'm afraid of getting hurt in the process. I've learned over the years, and maybe just recently, or I'm still currently learning, or I'm still continuing to learn, just being alone with my own thoughts and reflecting on a lot of things in my life. Number one, the moment I accepted that as the ultimate truth, and the moment I embraced the gravity of it, I began to realize that my life is my own, and nobody even fucking cares what I do with it. And it's a good thing, because it gives me the freedom to live an authentic life and to live an authentic self. Which brings me to my next point. Number two, people will always have something to say. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, even if it's with the best intentions, there are just some people who have the deep-rooted desire to bring other people down. They can be mean, they can be rude, they can just be bad in general. But the thing that I realized is it's not really personal. It's not an attack against you. It's just a projection of perhaps some deep-rooted issues that they have, maybe coming from a place of insecurity, it's coming from a place of hatred. Either way, it's not an attack against you. I remember this one comment on one of the videos that actually blew up. I mean, not blew up, it didn't get viral, but it got a lot of views as compared to my other videos on my main channel. Someone said that I was pretty, but that I should invest more in going to a spa, or it means more in the language that it was spoken in, but the overall message was that I was pretty, but I looked like shit. And upon reading that, my first reaction was, oh no, like I was riddled with anxiety and I was riddled with fear even, like, oh my god, people are gonna say some bad things about me, and this person in particular has said something bad about me. And then I realized, oh, I have my first hate comment. Like there was a shift in perspective after realizing that, oh, I have my first hate comment, which means people are actually appreciating the craft, the work that I put in. With that appreciation comes also, the negative side of it. I just shifted my perspective and thought of it as, oh, I have my first hate comment. Look, ma, I got here. It's just a funny way of looking at things. I think it's a healthy way of looking at things. And now, with the comments that I'm getting, or the comments that I've been getting recently on my videos on my main channel, it was just positive, and it made me feel so good because, oh my god, people are actually starting to appreciate my craft, and it makes me feel so good. But every time I upload a new video, my initial thought is, oh my god, are people gonna say bad shit about me? Like, are they gonna notice this, and are they gonna notice that? Are they just gonna magnify the flaws on there? And I actually have a video coming up about that, like about perfectionism, and it's coming up in a few weeks or a few days or so. The main thing that I realized from that comment was, okay, people are gonna say shit. People are gonna say good shit. People are gonna say bad shit. It doesn't matter. It's not about you. It's not a personal attack against you. It's just coming from whatever place it's coming. It could be a place of generosity, it could be a place of kindness, it could be a place of insecurity, it could even come from a place of hatred. Doesn't matter. It is not an attack against you. And I have to embrace that. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. Number 3, the strive to perfection is a flawed idea. I'm such a perfectionist by nature. Maybe it's because I was a very competitive kid growing up. Maybe it was because, I don't know, I was just in a very competitive environment academically. So maybe it stemmed from that. And because of social media, everything gets magnified. You have an acne here and there and people are going to notice, or you're going to notice and you're just going to magnify everything yourself. You know, on social media, some people, they praise perfection and then hate on the flaws, the obvious flaws. Like, oh, you don't look good. And oh, you have an acne here. And oh, you just look like shit. Like, social media can be a beautiful thing, but it can also be a very ugly place to be in. No one is perfect. No matter how perfect your life may seem, it's not. Perfection is not real. We're all just human beings and we're flawed. And I think that's what makes us beautiful. The flaws, the imperfections, makes us unique. I want to step out of that shell that I've built for myself. And I want to try and explore this new side or this new territory of sharing and of being vulnerable. It's a very foreign concept to me even now, but I'm still on the process of learning about it and exploring and discovering parts of me. And I'm starting to care more about my relationship with others and what I choose to share with them and what I choose to just keep for myself. Anyway, those are just a few thoughts on the subject. If you liked this video and would like more, please hit the like and subscribe. It's just a very chill place to like talk about the thoughts that I've been having for the week or the past few years even, and maybe spark a discussion on that and how that would relate to you. I will also leave links to my other channels, something else to watch while you're waiting for another episode. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shanice, and remember to love always.